Welcome to Real Geek Media. I am Hayden Stoll. He is Christopher Michael Blake. It is Thursday, August 8th, 2024. We are checking in. It is 9:21 p.m. We are here to talk about The Last Boy Scout. But first, we got a little catching up to do. Christopher, how you been?
Hayden, if you touch me again, I'm going to kill you.
Kim Coates in that role. Where he's played like the bad guy in like a lot of movies in that era, 91, mid-90s.
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, yeah. He's in a lot of Costner movies too. Yes, Last Boy Scout. How was your week? How was the past 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. We've been off for 3 weeks, Hayden. Let's see. Insomnia, not being able to sleep at night.
Fun.
Multiple projects, working 60 hours in 4 days a week. Talk about mental deterioration and slowing of response time and aging. And if you see the sheets behind me moving, it's not a ghost. It's not I'm breaking wind. I'm infested with cats.
Now, you said you got another one.
Today is International Kitten Day.
Oh boy,
Cat Day. And to show that, I figured I'm gonna let the cats climb all over the place and claw my eyeballs out.
There you go.
So we're ready to go.
Yeah, fun. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to have everybody back. We're gonna get into this. We got The Last Boy Scout this
Hayden,
week.
I promise you, there's no gun up this cat's ass.
Oh, yes. Now, Last Boy Scout. This is 1991. And we have Tony Scott here. Do you like Tony Scott films? Are you a fan of Tony Scott?
I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Okay.
So I can tell you that what I read online, take it for what it's worth, that the reason there was never a sequel to this movie, even though it did well at the box office, I think it made just shy of $60 million on a $49 million budget or something like that. That's not including, of course, VHS, which I'm sure it was huge at the time.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of these guys had egos, and they didn't like one another. So you got Joel Silver, Tony Scott, Shane Black,
yep,
and Bruce Willis, and duking it out to see who had the bigger set of cojones.
Yeah. I like Tony Scott. I'll give you
Sorry
some.
to hear all of it.
Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Revenge, Days of Thunder, Last Boy Scout, True Romance, Crimson Tide, The Fan, Enemy of the State, Spy Game, Man on Fire, etc., etc. I like Tony Scott. This movie felt like, he put his touch on it, and the interesting part of this thing is, like you had just mentioned, all the personalities involved in this. You have this, Silver Pictures production. Okay, you have, like you said, Shane Black wrote the screenplay, and it feels like a Shane Black buddy movie. Like a lot of his scripts, or a lot of the things that you see, you got this unlikely team up happening. In this case, it's Bruce Willis as a kind of down and out private detective, and Jimmy Dix, played by Damon Wayans, as the kicked out of the league former quarterback, best quarterback in the league, kicked out for gambling. Unlikely combination. And that's, you look at the other Shane Black films, you kind of see some of this stuff, right? You have Lethal Weapon, you have Danny Glover, who's the by the book detective about to retire, and then you have Mel Gibson, who's the wild card, got nothing, no care, devil may care attitude. You know, it's an interesting team up. What are your thoughts on that?
Who cares? What I want to know about is I was researching this question online the night before we came on. I couldn't find an answer, so I gotta assume it's her. Okay. But is that Halle Berry's real ass? That's the only question I have for you tonight. Because I think it is.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, this is like she's starting out. Like, what was her acting credits going into this? I don't know if there was much.
There was nothing. I can tell you that she got $500,000 to take her top off for 30 seconds in Swordfish.
Right. Yeah. So this, I would have to say yes, because I just don't see. You know, she had the resume to make the demands back then. You know, she was trying to get into movies, I guess. You know, this was the first thing that I remember her from, to be honest with you. What'd you think of Halle Berry in this?
She's hot. That's what I was thinking.
I thought she was fine in the role. You know.
Oh, you were paying attention to the role. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to her being a stripper. No, she was fine. She's a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
She's made a good career, and you know what she's doing. And who am I to look? I was more impressed with the fact that I didn't realize that the guy who played the senator in this movie is also the guy greasing himself up in Major League.
Yes.
For the fastball.
Yes.
I don't know his name off the top of my head. I really don't care because I think this is the only two movies I've ever seen him in.
Yeah. You're telling me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Joe Boo this.
Yep. I have to agree. I don't know if he's in anything else, but he's got that memorable face, that smarmy look, and you know. Yeah, I agree with you. It's Major League and it's this movie. I don't know what else he's in, but there's a lot of actors that pop up in this thing, in bit roles, and it, you know, they're good in it. I don't think like, you know, this movie is nothing crazy. It's a fun, you know, buddy action movie, but you got some of these guys, Milo. Like is that guy Taylor Negron is his name. I don't remember him really from much else.
He's been in a couple other things.
He's in a lot of
head, but you know,
he's in a lot of stuff. But this is the one movie that I remember him from because it's so
because he's playing somebody straight and he's not.
It's
obviously he's not
right. It's so his character's so odd as the heavy.
Not only that, but at the end of this movie, when they're in the football stands and he's getting ready to take the sniper shot, they must have had Donald Trump's security team out there for the Secret Service not be able to identify and pick this guy off.
Yeah, he's mowing him down out of the helicopter.
He's in the most obvious spot you could be at.
Right.
And what's Bruce Willis do? He dances the jig.
He dances a jig afterwards.
So this, you know, look. You were mentioning other actors in this movie, and some of who played a big character in this movie, who again is a funny, ha moment. He was in The Burbs. Is the guy who has the car crash into a swimming pool before he takes a bullet to the back of the head.
Rick Dukeman.
God bless you. Yeah, him.
Yes.
But again, you know, funny 2 minutes of movie. I'm sure he got paid something to be there. Thank you. Come again.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe it's just Shane Black's writing where, you know, there's just a lot of, maybe it's some of the dialogue that he writes for these guys. Because even earlier in the movie where Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans are by Bruce Willis's car and they're going in the trunk, and then those two guys come up to them, right, where he puts a C4 in the trunk. Like even some of the dialogue there, you know, it's snappy, it's, you know, witty, and you have Bruce Willis who just doesn't care. You know, that's his character, right? He's delivering the lines, and you know, they're interesting characters, right? Like they're only on screen for like a minute or two, but they have a little bit of something to them. Is my point.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. And the reason I'm gonna disagree with you, it's like I'm gonna take you in the alleyway and I'm gonna shoot you. But let you tell me 100 fat mama jokes and how you're fucking my wife first before I tried to plug you and give you an ample opportunity to escape. And we're not just gonna make the same mistake once. We're not just gonna make the same mistake twice. We're not gonna make it even 3 times. We want to go for 4 or 5. Where we didn't learn our lesson when you killed the one guy. We didn't learn our lesson when you killed 2 of our guys. Hell, we didn't learn you killed 3 of our guys. We now have to learn this when you kill 6 of our guys and almost kill the main bad guy out in the pool. It's like, oh yeah, look, this guy's an easy guy. He's an alcoholic. Oh, look, he got lucky killing 6 of our guys before. Just underestimate him again. Well, let him tell you a joke or 2 first. Apparently, he's Andrew Dice Clay. Everybody forgets Andrew Dice Clay was really popular around this time, right? Mm-hmm. So of course, this is like we got to tell these awful jokes to offend people, and which like they're kind of like knockoff Andrew Dice Clay jokes. But it's entertaining.
I say this for the bit parts that all these henchmen have. To me, they were interesting. They're not just kind of like, just a guy with no line. Each of them seems to have a little bit of dialogue that gives you a little bit of character, and then they're dead. But I found it interesting that they at least have that much, where usually you don't get much in it. They're just kind of guy stands there looking tough, then gets shot, right? They talk, they quip, they're not smart, no, but, they're meant to just kind of, let our hero shine a little bit. I find them interesting. And some of these movies, like I said, you just don't have any of that. So you have these bad guys, they pop up, they have a little bit of dialogue and, we continue. I don't know. I enjoy it. I think they're fun.
I thought the snappy comebacks were always fun to listen to.
There's a lot of...
But...
yeah.
Look, I almost felt like I was watching this through rose-colored glasses. Because when I saw it on our schedule for this year, my first thought was, oh, that's a good movie. I haven't seen it in 30 years. Let's pop this thing in and go for a ride and relive some of my youth. And when I finished watching it, I said, I hope I can forget this as quickly as I've watched it. Because it's just not good. And look, some of the action scenes are okay, but it's just not a good movie. It's like...
I enjoy it for what it is. It wasn't a good movie when it came out in 91, but it was a fun movie, and it was kind of, it is a sign of the times of late 80s, early 90s for sure, right? It's thin on everything, but I enjoyed the lines, I enjoyed the villains, I enjoyed the heroes. I thought it was a fun story, Like I said, this thing is not setting the world on fire. But it was, for me, fun to watch and fun to relive again. It's definitely a relic. It doesn't really hold up. I agree with you. It's not like, this is a top movie of Tony Scott's filmography. Let
me ask you a question. All jokes aside, I mean, I'm gonna make one about Billy Blanks now, though, but because face it, he's Billy Cole, right, in the movie. Yep. As he drop kicks the one guy, he's just running the football. By the way, that actually happens in the movie. I'm not joking.
Yep.
What does that scene have to do with the movie?
Nothing. I think
look, it's a great football song. That should be our Monday Night Football anthem.
Right. Friday night's a great night for football.
Oh, look, it's a better anthem than they currently are using for Monday Night Football.
Right.
But that scene has no relevance to the rest of the movie.
No, it doesn't.
None whatsoever. It's supposed to be about gambling. He's trying to get gambling authorized, but that scene does not come up again. Nobody really... They briefly mention him in one other scene, and nobody could care less.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there like, It's a great opening scene. It's action-packed. It's heartfelt. I don't know if I was be all those football players running to this guy who's got a gun, but hey, more power to them. They got pads on. Apparently, they didn't see that one guy's head get blown off, so it's okay. But that opening scene has nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And like you said, they mention it, and it's so brief that you may have forgotten what happened. Right, like it really has no ties. It introduces the owner of the team. You get a tiny little clip of Milo on the telephone. That's it. That's the only thing really that carries on through the film. The rest of it doesn't really mean anything. You see it as the opening scene, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then when there's nothing to do with, you would think, oh, maybe there's an investigation. Nothing. No. We're off on somewhere else with totally different characters at this point. So yeah, it is kind of haphazard as far as like, what they were trying to convey there. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Because even the line he says before he shoots himself, he's like, he kills like 2 or 3 players, and then he shoots himself. He's like, life's a bitch.
Yep.
Okay, well, did you have to kill the other players? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, you said that was Billy Blanks.
It was typo.
Yeah, which is just, I don't think I ever really noticed that till you said that. Now that you say it, I'm just like, holy shit, that is Billy Blanks. Interesting that he was cast in that.
We gotta watch one of his movies for next year. We gotta put that on the docket.
Listen, while you're on it, let's put Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth on the docket.
That's a pretty good movie.
Actually. I enjoyed that movie.
From what I remember, it was up all night when I was watching that. With Joe Bob and the chick with the big tits, Rhonda Shear. That was her name. I can't believe I remember her name. That's amazing saying that I remember her name. But okay, sure, why not?
That's a not a good movie, but Lance Henriksen.
Oh, I like that movie. I thought that was.
I enjoy it. Like, I haven't seen it it's got to be 30 years. So, let's throw that one on the list for 25.
But, and we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the dead squirrel in the car.
All right, listen, I got to say, like, watching that scene was
funny.
It was funny. And then when he gets the kid and he's got the gun and the kid is screaming, just like, I was laughing out loud. I thought that was funny. Bruce Willis at this point, like, coming off of Die Hard 2 at this point?
Die Hard 2 was the last movie that him and Joel Silver kind of did. It was him, that, and Hudson Hawk. After that, they kind of separated their ways at that point, and that was a wrap for them. Now, Hudson Hawks for me is one of those stupid movies I actually kind of enjoy for the singing. I can't look. You might be swinging on a star, but that's okay. And because there's so many good things that could have gone right with that movie, and just did not. I mean, Danny Aiello and
right.
I forget who the bad guy who played the old Gambit. It was a great actor from the. Is it James Coburn? James Coburn.
Oh yeah, Coburn. James Coburn.
So, I mean, just there's so many things that could have gone right in that movie and just did not.
Yeah.
Da Vinci and the whole aspect. I mean, look, it was what it was. But I'm gonna throw you a nugget here for the fans, because I did not know this before doing my research tonight. Take this for what it's worth. It's internet gossip, but Shane Black had a different ending for this movie.
What was the original ending?
And Bruce Willis was the one who advocated for the change, as well as the NC-17 censors. Okay. So originally in the script, the wife gets kidnapped by Milo and is, don't laugh because it's not funny, about stripped naked and forced to perform a snuff scene. And as Milo pulls out a chainsaw, that's when Bruce Willis comes in. But she kills Milo at the end. And they did not. He thought that was too close to Die Hard, where he's trying to save the wife.
Okay.
So he didn't want to have that similarity there. And of course, a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the shootouts and all, which were influenced by John Woo, especially if you see the way Bruce Willis was holding the two guns.
Two guns, yep. Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff was changed for the censors. A lot of the action sequences were changed because they were going to give it an NC-17 rating. So they cut back and dialed back a lot of the action that was out there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I don't know. Like, do any of the action sequences like stick with you, or is it just run of the mill?
You know, look, I thought that the limousine with the changing of the suitcase was interesting at the time.
Right.
But look, the guys, again, they got 6 bad guys around them. I'm going to tell a joke into this cat. And, you know, I'm just like, motherfucker, no. Shoot him in the kneecap. Do something. Yeah, and look, they bad guys even have them. They take them out by the pool, and then, well, no, we got to go into the whole dialogue on why this is actually happening now.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Really? Look, you buried Jimmy Hoff out in the left end zone. You couldn't put him out in the right?
Yeah. You're not wrong. I just don't think this is the type of movie that logic applies to much of it.
Look, again, one of those movies that growing up in the 90s, I loved watching. Couldn't wait for it to come on. We'd pop it in the DVD player.
Right.
Predator, Die Hard. It was in that wheelhouse. That whole, this is what we're doing for tonight. Aliens, put it in. And I go back and I watch it now and say, yeah, I could wait another 30 years again to watch this again. And again, this is my opinion. It's not, take it for what it's worth. A lot of people like this movie. I liked this movie in 91. Not so much today. Some of the funny one-liners, again, were really good. I appreciate them. The best part of the movie, in my opinion, and I'm just speaking just for me, and you can tell me your opinion, Hayden, in a second, is when he walks into the house and he finds out his wife's cheating on him because the toilet seat's left up. And that, to me, was brilliant. That is wow, okay.
Yeah.
And he's arguing with his wife. And who hasn't been there where you're arguing with your wife? And your wife's like, oh, yeah, you're crazy. You're acting... Oh, really? Well, let's find out how crazy I am when I start shooting. John Wayne style, because let's face it.
Great scene.
It's
a great scene. And it does a great job of kind of like... Because we've already met Bruce Willis at this point as the just drunk, passed out in his car, right?
Right. So
this kind of gives you the idea, right, that, he's not some, just the guy's got skills, right? He can apply himself and figure something out. Something's wrong, right? Just by looking at the toilet seat, the steam in the shower, he knows he's got it. All right. Great scene. I agree with you. That's a fun one. I like the scenes. I like the scenes where that you kind of, didn't like now rewatching it. I like the scenes where he interacts with the bad guys. I enjoy those scenes. I think they're fun. I like Milo as a bad guy. I like the henchman. Just because you can look at them and go, oh, I know that guy from, I've seen that guy before. I've seen him in this. I've seen him in that. And, it's like when you watch True Romance and James Gandolfini pops up, and that's a Tony Scott movie as well. And it's like I like seeing that because it's like, oh, I know him, okay, I got it.
Brad Pitt? Right.
But, Gandolfini pops up in that movie in like 2 scenes, right? Yeah, same with Brad Pitt. But, it's I don't know if it's Shane Black's script or if it's Tony Scott thing, but I like these henchmen that kind of have a little bit of a personality or a little bit of dialogue, and they're not just, there to get shot. Most of them are, but some of them have quips. And the one guy in the scene where they do the C4 in the trunk, the one smaller guy there is the guy that plays Ace Ventura's landlord, I think. No, not Ace Ventura's landlord.
The Mask?
No, he yes, I think it was The Mask. He's like, because I recognize he's another guy. I was like, I know that guy from somewhere, right? I don't know. I thought those scenes are fun, and you get a lot of one-liners. I had forgotten how many like one-liners and quips are in this movie. I totally forgot, and it's like every scene or something.
Sky is blue. What is it? The water is wet.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Sky is blue, water's wet, women have secrets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Yep. There's so much, finger scale. Bruce McGill showing up. I don't know. I like this movie. It still works for me today. I had a good time watching it. It really, the nostalgia of it, and some of the stuff you're just like, what? But I like it for what it is. I enjoy it. It was fun, and it's been. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched this. I really couldn't.
Hayden, I'm sending you back in the DeLorean in 1991.
And they even make a Back to the Future joke in the movie about going any faster, you're going to go back in time. And
I remember that. Okay.
The highway chase scene, Damon Wayans says it, where before he writes bomb on the draws the picture. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we can revisit some other Tony Scott movies in the future. But for me, this one was a lot of fun.
Look, the one-liners in this movie carry it, in my opinion. Bruce Willis carries this movie.
He's great. Yeah.
And then, of course, you got Damon Wayans, who I personally like.
What'd you think of... I'm sorry. What'd you think of Damon Wayans? Not a totally comic role, a little bit of action, some serious scenes. What'd you think?
His entire career from Living Color to this movie, I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I like all the Wayans brothers as actors, though.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason. Even the stupid roles, whether it's White Chicks or...
Scary Movie.
Ivory. Look.
They're great.
They're not the best, but they're not... I've seen worse. And I appreciate the fact that they have range. It's just not like a one-trick pony like a Kevin Hart.
Right.
I don't say that, but that's exactly what it is.
That's true. Yeah.
Talk about box office and the movie Borderlands. I'm just sitting here shaking my head already about it.
Damon Wayans, in the scenes where he talks about where he's in the shower, right, or in the bathroom, and about to do a line of coke, Bruce Willis catches him, and he talks about all the pain and the suffering he's been through. I thought he was great in that scene. And, like you said, coming into this, he was known for the comic stuff and in Living Color and, the goofy side of it. But he really, in those scenes where he had the serious lines and the serious, things to talk about, I thought he was good. I was, more impressed now than I think I was back in 91 when I saw this. I don't think I had a appreciation for something like that, back then. So rewatching this, it was like, he's actually not bad, with the serious side.
Hayden, I'm going to steal a horse, and then I'm going to throw a football that's going to stop a bullet. Not that the bullet couldn't go through the football.
The magic
and hit its target.
The magic football. What a throw!
But then the bullet's going to the ball's going to explode.
And
it's not just good. It's just not going to go through the ball.
Yeah, it's just
to explode.
Blow the ball, and everything's going to blow up. And he threw that ball with the hand that was shot.
Well, and not only that, but was it shot or was it stabbed? I forget.
I thought the owner of the team shot him in the hand.
That's what. Okay, when he used the shotgun blast to set the fire, I thought that was pretty cool too. I do have to admit that. I thought that was.
Yes, the kind that shred.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I recommend it. Go watch it.
I can't say the same. I would say, hey, look, 91. It was. If you're watching it for Halle Berry's ass,
it's not in it enough.
No, it's not. But you can stop the movie after 15 minutes and save yourself some time. Go watch Swordfish. Go watch Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball. Billy Bob Beanbag.
It's a pretty good movie, though.
It is a good movie. Yeah, it is a good movie.
Hey, you know what else is good?
What's good?
A way to attract and gain new sponsors.
Tell me.
Where can you go to get your dollar value nowadays for your advertising of your business? Do you know?
I know one place.
Go ahead, Hayden.
It's right here with us at Real Geek Media.
Hayden, are you going to hear a bunch of corny one-liners like from Bruce Willis while you're doing your advertisement?
No.
Yes.
We could, though.
Yes. No, you are going to. No, there's no doubt about this. You are going to be hearing corny one-liners. Possibly while Hayden's in the bathroom doing a line of coke. Tell me about his football careers on the Great Lawn in Monmouth University.
Slingshot era.
Remember you?
The Great Lawn, yes.
Yes, yes.
I remember.
Look, you're such an eye. You forgot your freshman year where you were on your back more than the cheerleaders were. But that's okay. Here at Real Geek Media, your business can afford a sponsorship, and that's the important thing. Consider running an advertisement during one of our podcast shows. Do you know that we're running a summer special right now, Hayden?
Yes.
How much? How much for an advertisement? Do you remember?
We down to, is it 10?
$30, Hayden.
It's a 30?
Look, we're not on the value menu yet.
$30. You
Get in
can,
there.
yeah, just don't go get McDonald's. Get a sponsorship. You know, they both cost $30.
That's right. For just $30, you can get placement on our website as well as on our shows. That's 2 shows for $30 because you get one night for the entire month. That's right. Visit realgeekmedia.com. That's www.realgeekmedia.com. Click on the links for sponsor us, advertise with us, or donate here to get started. Hayden, I know you just came back from the shore from Wildwood, but did you go to Cape May?
No.
Well, there's a spot where you can get all of Cape May's murder mysteries right now from author Christopher Michael Blake, author of the horror novel Pray for Dawn and the science fiction thriller Pyramid of the Parasite. Comes the mystery novel The Cape May Murders. 5 days before Halloween, retiring to the police Browning has 2 different mysteries to solve. The first is the reappearance of a woman missing for 25 years who has the amnesia. And the second is a killer dressed as the Grim Reaper killing off Cape May stakeholders. Can Chief Browning figure out how these mysteries are related before becoming the next victim? Cape May Murders is now available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and at www.ChristopherMichaelBlake.com. Hayden, I have to ask before we continue, do you see any movies over the last 3 weeks?
No. Well, nothing out in the theater. I haven't. No.
Wow, you didn't see Deadpool?
I did not see Deadpool. I did not see it.
Okay, all right. So I got to tell you, I've seen a whole bunch of movies these last 3 weeks.
Okay. What did you see? I'm assuming Deadpool, Wolverine, and what else?
Deadpool, Wolverine. I saw Twisters.
Twisters, okay.
And I also saw Long Legs.
You told me about Long Legs. Did you enjoy Twisters?
I don't want to talk too much about Wolverine, Deadpool, because I believe we're doing that next 2 weeks from now. Is that right?
I think it's...
I don't want to solidify it if you haven't seen it. So
No, hold on. I'll get it. Hold on, let me just look at the schedule. I got it right here.
I know we were behind for various reasons. And
we have The Departed next, and then it was Deadpool, Wolverine. But if we need to move something around...
I just think it would be easier because Deadpool, Wolverine could be out and be gone in the next,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do Deadpool, Wolverine.
Okay. I actually thought of the 3 movies that Twisters was the best of the 3.
Really? Okay.
I did. I argued with somebody who I work with about this because they were all about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, get a grip. But
Fair enough.
I'm not saying too much more. Long Legs had its issues, and I'm looking forward to discussing some of these movies coming out here.
I have a, Marvel's not really in good standing with me right now, so I might have to try.
With this.
I might have to try and put that in check while I watch a Marvel movie.
You will get back in check with this.
Yeah.
I will tell you that you will get back in check with this.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not a Deadpool beater whatsoever. I ain't particularly like the first two. First one was okay. The second
Yeah,
one,
second one, not for me.
no, but it does, and especially if you haven't read any of the internet articles about it,
I'm
I know,
avoiding it like crazy.
and that's the way to go into it because there's some surprises in there.
Okay.
So, I mean, some of them you can't avoid, but
Right.
into,
Like even at my job, people are like, "You haven't seen it," and they like go off in the corner and talk about it. I'm like, "Sorry."
don't get fired. Yeah,
Yeah.
talk about it for me, you will get fired. Yes. But Aiden, today we're talking about the biggest movie coming up of the year. It Ends With Us, the Blake Lively movie. All the women are talking about this movie.
Really?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Do you talk to women?
This is the first time I've heard of this movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So It Ends With Us. Blake Lively. I guess she falls in love with this guy, and he has a little bit of a temper issue. So she kind of, her old flame kind of pops back up, and she sees a lot of her parents' relationship in the current relationship that she's in. That's what I got from the trailers, anyway.
Okay.
I don't know,
It Ends With Us.
Do you have any?
When does this come out?
Friday, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It Ends With Us. $25 million budget.
I think it's gonna make that back opening weekend.
Really?
I think so.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with. Man, I don't know anything about this film. Let's go with.
Vacation too long.
Yeah, seriously, I'm out of the loop. You think it's going to do 25?
I think
or more?
I'll put the first number out there. I'll give you 32. I can't tell you when the last time a romantic movie came out that women will drag men to. Let's face it, all the women who got drug out to go see Deadpool and Twisters and Long Legs.
They're getting revenge right now.
This is their time to go out and go see this movie. I gotta say 32.
32. All right.
Not only that, the box office has been in fuego, and we've been underestimating every movie so far for the last week.
That's fair.
I know we didn't cover our box office totals from the last week, and I didn't even bother to look because I know I got beat up so bad. But I'm here to tell you, I think 32 sounds about right.
Let me go 28.
Okay.
28. I gotta watch a trailer for this thing.
Hayden, this is the next movie, and I think this is going to be the start of the bombs.
Oh boy.
Borderlands. Nobody's asking for. Looks atrocious.
Here's my first thought when I saw the trailer for this thing was it looks very
Why oh why?
It looked very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. Now, I like Eli Roth. I don't know how he ended up directing this movie. You have a decent cast for this type of film, but I don't know. I don't know. So, like my initial comparison, like I said, all I've seen is the trailer. It's like very Guardians of the Galaxy. So I don't know. I did see some horrendous Rotten Tomato critics and scores.
0% said yes. 0%.
Yeah. So I don't know. Does this film have a big enough video game fan base that is actually going to turn out for it? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I imagine this has got a sizable budget. Yeah, 110 to 120 million budget.
You might as well just flush that down the toilet like you did with the heroin.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, opening weekend.
You ready? I'll give you the number. I'll start this one off.
Good.
And I think I'm being generous. 17 million.
I was thinking It's like 15.
I thought 15 at first, but then I thought we underestimated every single one.
See, here's the thing, right? Like, no matter what the critic score is, and as terrible as it is, what is the fan base? Like,
Gamers. Teenage gamers.
So are they going to go to see it this weekend?
If they hadn't seen Deadpool...
A teenage gamer is not going to have a wife or a girlfriend dragging him to the Blake Lively movie.
Right.
So is this an R-rated movie, PG-13? And
I would hope it was R. I would hope.
So, I don't know. Maybe it'll overperform. Bad movies do that sometimes, right? Doesn't mean it's not going to make some money. I don't think it's going to touch its budget, but, I don't know. Maybe it hits 20. Maybe. I don't know.
Give me the number, Hayden.
I'm going to stick with 15, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does higher than that.
Well, look, for $110 million, I mean, it's just... look, let's face it. I've been to a lot of movies the last couple weeks, and I have seen 0 trailers for Borderlands. 0. I think the last time I saw a trailer for Borderlands was Furiosa. And that was, what, May? April?
Yeah. It's been a while. Maybe like the end of the winter, early spring. But let's say the movie's very similar to Guardians. Okay, let's say it's similar. No, I'm just saying. Let's say it's similar visually, and maybe it has a similar kind of, we're all kind of mercenaries that are going to band together. Maybe it's similar. Maybe it has those things in common. Let's say it's like that. And, you have, because of the Marvel name, obviously Guardians was huge, right? So let's say this movie's decent. Maybe the audience likes it. Critics score, I don't put much stock in, right? The critics can be bought and sold, and, I don't trust that. Like they say movies are great. When I watch it, I was like, this is a piece of crap. Like I don't see what you're saying unless you took the money, like to shill for it. No, you can't put much stock in. Like you had said about Rotten Tomatoes, none of that stuff is like legit. You got to look at the audience score, but I don't know. I just don't. You're right. There isn't much marketing behind it. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a trailer. It was in the theater. And it was, I don't even know what it was attached to, but that was months ago. So, if I'm going to stick with 15, but
okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
The third movie we're going to be discussing tonight is Cuckoo, the Dan Stevens horror movie. It's a low budget, but it is getting a national release. It's getting some pretty good reviews from the few things I have seen. The trailer looks very confusing.
Yeah.
However, if you don't mind, I'll start off again.
Go ahead.
I'll let you get the last one in starting off. I believe this is a summer of horror. You've had Abigail, you've had Long Legs, you've had A Violent Nature, Coon 2. I mean, all these movies, I think, made money.
Yeah.
Which is what anybody cares about, is if you can make a decent horror movie on a low budget. Hint, Hayden. I'm trying to tell you something. You know what it is.
I know.
And I believe this budget was $7 million.
7. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I hope Dan Stevens got a piece of the back end. I don't know what, I don't know if he's just trying to gear himself up to be a horror convention celebrity. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't need that. I mean, look.
No, he's a good actor, man. I like him. Yeah.
I think this does $9 million opening weekend. So
I'm
not going crazy saying this is a $100 million movie. I will probably go see it because it's a horror movie.
But like all the ones you had said, those horror movies with very low budgets have all made a profit. For the most part, have turned a profit. So you said, what was the budget on it? 7?
7.
So you think it makes it back opening? I'm gonna go 4.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think on a $7 million budget, it'll make its money back, but I think it'll take a little more than opening weekend. but that's like guaranteed profit.
Especially going on demand and everything else. I mean,
yeah.
It's got some decent reviews. Hayden, the last movie we're going to be talking about comes out next Friday, and it's the one you've been waiting for all year long.
Yes.
Alien Romulus.
Yes. I can't wait for Alien. I can't wait for Alien Romulus. Give me 1 second. I need to check budgets on this. Because I don't think the budget was out of control for this movie. I think it was reasonable budget. I can't seem to find it. I think they initially wanted to put this thing right on Hulu, the way they released Prey. So it wasn't going to see a theatrical release. And I'm glad they changed their minds, because Alien on the big screen is where it belongs. Opening weekend, I'm going to go 50.
Wow. So I found the budget here. It is $40 million.
40.
Now, Hayden, again, we just got done talking about Last Boy Scout and the rose-colored glasses going back in time. And I think you're stuck there still. And I'm going to tell you why I think that. I have empirical evidence to back it up. It's just, when you look at the last two Prometheus movies with David, big hype, Ridley Scott. We're going to get back to the origins. We're going to find out how these aliens were made. Not bad movies. I don't think either one of them are not great, but not terrible. And I don't seem to think they did so well in the theaters. And the fact that it's an R-rated film, I got to go a lot lower. I have to probably go 22. It's just as a guess. I know you're a little bit more excited about the trailers than I am. I'm having a tough time trying to figure out why these woke people are running around the universe trying to get off their planet. I don't know. I just...
Here's... I think a lot of people were... I think Prometheus was high in concept and way too mystery boxy with any kind of resolution. I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful movie. All the designs, and it's really shot well. Ridley Scott is tremendous at that, but he's lost his touch as a storyteller, in my opinion. I will say this about Alien Covenant. I think the first half of it is a tremendous Alien movie. I think the second half, where it is Prometheus 2, is pretty terrible. And I think this movie is taking audiences back to the roots of horror, sci-fi horror, and we're not going to worry about some robot who, became off on his own and created. No, this is this group of people on this station fighting for their lives. And I think, we'll see. It could be 20. I don't know. I think the trailers did enough for me to bring this thing back to its roots, which is what I wanted in Prometheus, what we partially got in Alien Covenant. But we'll see. We'll see. I have faith in this director. Fede Alvarez. What was that? What was the one with the blind guy, Christopher? Where the kids break in the house with the blind guy. See No Evil. See No Evil. Was it See No Evil?
See No Evil. It was Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe. I like that movie. I thought that was a great movie. The first one, not the second one. But
the second one. Yeah, I hope he didn't direct the second one.
He didn't direct the second one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you is there a turkey baster in this one?
And we're going to find out. We're going to find out. If there is, that's impressive.
So, Hayden, before we wrap up tonight's episode, I just want to promote. I'll be at New Jersey HorrorCon this weekend. August 9th through the 11th. It's in Edison, New Jersey. Come on out. Ken Foray. They'll have a Revenge of the Nerds reunion. Who's going to be there? Monster Squad reunion's going to be there.
Wolfman's got nards.
Oh, absolutely. Bill Mosley's going to be there.
Bill Mosley, nice.
Oh, look, it's going to be a huge convention. Come on out. Support your local horror conventions. New Jersey, Edison, Friday through Sunday. Also, tomorrow, 4 o'clock. You know about this already, Hayden?
Yes, tell me about it, though.
The Indiegogo for Crimson Harvest kicks off. If you ever wanted to be in a movie, you wanted to be a producer of a movie, you wanted to have a role in a movie, you buy your role. Crimson Harvest, that's Crimson with a Z, Harvest. Go to Indiegogo.com, donate your money, secure yourself a part, be a part of horror history. I helped write the script for this. We'll see how it does. And from what I understand, this is breaking news. Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp has been slated to star in the movie.
Excellent news. Excellent news.
Again, as long as I get the budget to make this thing, it's going to happen.
How long is Indiegogo open for? Do we know?
That I am not sure. As of right now, I would assume that they are accepting donations starting tomorrow up until probably potentially April, March.
Oh, that's good. That's
yes.
good.
So it's going to be open for a little bit.
Good. That's exciting, man. That's very exciting. Yeah, check that out, everyone. We'll throw links up in the socials once we have that live, so you guys can just click and get there easy. Very exciting news. So, Christopher, anything else? Last Boy Scout, final thoughts?
No, just please don't leave a dead squirrel on my bed. I'm good with that.
There you go. So, check us out next time. Stick around. We're going to get to the news very shortly. And we'll see you guys next week.